In today's video, I explain how you can go from looking normal to having a six-pack.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, I'm going to explain just how it is that we go from looking average to getting shredded and having a six-pack of abs. And I'm gonna link below a free training guide I have for beginners because I still feel like there's a value in this, even if you've been training for a little while, but you haven't made a lot of progress. So click the link below if you're looking for something free. Listen, I'm not looking for anything from you guys. I'm trying, 2019 is my goal, is to try to help more people. I have a very limited amount of coaching spots. So I really can't help everybody, but what I'm trying to do this year is really move forward and help you guys out. So these great questions that you send me, and this question came from my Instagram, so please go to my Instagram, give me a follow, and send me a direct message. And if you send me a message, just like this gentleman did here, and I'll post it up on the screen, then I can answer your questions. And that's really what I want to do this year, is kind of be a resource for you guys, because I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. Sometimes it can be hard to kind of fine tune what you're doing. So first and foremost, let's talk about just what it takes to go from where you're at to where you want to be. Now, the gentleman at question here says he works in retail, he's on his feet all day, and he eats around 3,000 calories. If you think you eat 3,000 calories, you're wrong. Unless you are tracking every single thing that goes in your mouth, you do not know what you eat. Now, I'm not saying that for you to be successful, you have to track everything you ever eat for the rest of your life. No, what I'm saying is, when you're not tracking, you're not accountable. And when you reach for food, or you have a little bit of extra, or you say, well, I just had a tablespoon of peanut butter, wrong. You might be eating 3, 4, 5,000 calories more than you think you're eating, okay? It can add up very, very quickly, okay? And then you have one bad night a week, you skip a session in the gym, and it snowballs, and this is how we get extra body fat. So how do we move and get going with this goal? Well, the most important thing is that we just give ourselves some accountability, okay? Accountability in the nutrition, accountability in the gym, and if you're on your feet for 20 hours a day, or if you're on that much, if you're in retail, you probably don't need to be doing much cardio, but standing still, you know, while it is calorie burning as opposed to sitting, there's not a lot of movement in that, right? So I do think there is some value in doing some steady state cardio. I'm a big believer in low intensity, steady state cardio. Why? Because the fuel source used for cardiovascular exercise is based on the intensity. So low intensity preferentially uses body fat as fuel. High intensity preferentially uses carbohydrates as fuel. Now, the benefit to high intensity cardio, as I've discussed before, is that you are getting some adaptations in there as a post-exercise oxygen consumption that occurs, so you actually might burn more calories. But if we're just talking about getting body fat off, I love low intensity steady state. It's easy to recover from. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get on a treadmill, do a little bit of walking pre-post workout. So the big thing I want to get across in this video is that you need to be accountable, and it's never been easier to be accountable. There are so many great apps out there, okay? The most common is MyFitnessPal. It's free. They have a free version, and it's going to give you some guidelines if you use the free version. You don't necessarily need to follow those guidelines, but what you do need to do is just start plugging things in. It's got a barcode scanner. It's got a search library of just about every place you want to eat, restaurants, things like that. Now, my friend here is from Melbourne, Australia, so I don't know, you know, I've been to Melbourne many times. I'll be headed there again in March. But, you know, the restaurants in Melbourne aren't like big chains like we have here in the United States. So you're probably going to have to put a little bit of effort in if you eat at these restaurants quite a bit. But the most important thing is that you just get consistent. Start repeating yourself. Start eating kind of the same breakfast, the same lunch, the same dinners. Have an idea of what's in everything, and really pay attention to your diet, creating a caloric deficit. Now, after you've tracked your diet for a week, then you can actually get a real number of where your calories are at and create a deficit through that, okay? There are a lot of popular ways to create a deficit. One of the biggest ones right now is fasting. I've tried fasting. It wasn't for me. Is fasting magic? No. Why does fasting work? It creates a caloric deficit. Is there some hormone magic? Is there some? No. It just creates a caloric deficit because you're skipping eating a large portion of the day. Just like things like the carnivore diet. Is it magic? No, it creates a caloric deficit because you're not eating a lot of food groups. What about the ketogenic diet? Is it magic? No, it's creating a caloric deficit because you're not eating carbs. Okay, so there are some benefits to these things. Do not try to have a diet that does not fit your lifestyle. If your diet does not fit your lifestyle, it's going to be short term. You're not going to get to your goal because eventually you're just going to get sick of it and give up. Instead, it might take a little work in the beginning. Create a diet that works for your lifestyle. Eat the foods that you enjoy. Learn to be accountable within those, and you will have success. So just how long is it going to take to go from being a little bit overweight to having a shredded six-pack? Well, I gotta be honest, most people out there are not willing to do what it takes. They're not willing to see the scale go down to a number that they haven't seen in years, okay? Whatever that weight is, it's going to be scary. It's going to be low. A lot of people are gonna lose 20 pounds and feel like, wow, I've lost 20 pounds and I don't see a lot of difference. This is where you need to be taking update pictures front and back. A lot of males are gonna lose most of their body fat in their lower back to start. Not a lot on the abs, okay? But once that body fat comes off, then it's gonna start coming off in other places. Body fat that we lose comes off in a predetermined genetic manner, okay? So you might lose 20 pounds and not see any difference in certain body parts. Although you might see a difference in your face, but you still got the same amount of fat on your butt or your abs, okay? That's the way body fat works. It comes off from different areas at different stages. Once the body fat is all gone from the lower back, then you might notice it comes off a little bit in the shoulders and arms. So once the shoulders and arms look a little leaner, the chest looks a little bit leaner. So you'll see these like patterns as you diet down. The key is track visually so that you can see this happening, because if you just see the scale going down and you're not seeing a lot of progress, this is one great thing about, coaching competitive bodybuilders is that I require weekly photos. So sometimes if you're just looking at yourself in the mirror, you're not going to see the changes, but I promise you, if you're looking at yourself front and back and you've lost 20 pounds, there's going to be a significant visual difference. And that can help with the momentum of getting to the next phase, okay? What type of training should you do? I don't care. Now, my free guide that's linked below includes a basic beginner's bodybuilding program where you just go in and do some resistance training. Just like your diet, you need to find a fitness activity that fits your lifestyle. I used to play basketball for hours. I used to play baseball, volleyball, okay? I did things that I enjoyed for hours. Why? Because you're out there and moving and you're doing things and you're not thinking about having to get through it or having to survive it. If you don't like bodybuilding, don't do bodybuilding. If you like riding your bike, well, maybe you could be a competitive cyclist. I have a client that does that and it works very well for him. Okay, why? Because these are activities that we enjoy and we fit them into our lifestyle. We're not huffing and puffing every time we have to go to the gym, okay? I can't wait to go to the gym. That's me. Maybe you hate the gym. If you hate the gym, then don't do the gym. Find another avenue. Find something that gets you excited, that gets you out and moving. Moving and building some muscle is what is really going to help change and shape your physique, okay? All you guys out there is nothing wrong with any type of activity that you enjoy, okay? As long as it's gonna help you get to your goals. If you tell me you wanna put on, 10 pounds of lean body mass this year, but you're gonna really get involved in yoga, I got some bad news. You're probably not gonna put on any muscle doing yoga. You might feel great, but again, it's gotta be specific to your goals. All right, guys, I don't wanna get too deep into this video. Getting lean, getting shredded, I've talked about it all the time. It's about long-term, consistently losing body fat, seeing those changes, adjusting along the way. Use my guide. It's down, click below, free. I don't want anything from you guys. I'm not gonna send you anything. I just wanna help. So keep asking me the questions on Instagram. I'd appreciate comments below. I love subscribers, because I do plan to be very involved at this year going forward. So if you're gonna be in LA for the Los Angeles Fit Expo, I will be there. If you're gonna be at the Arnold, I will be there. And I'll start announcing some other places I'll be. I'll be at the Arnold in Australia as well. So maybe I'll get to meet my man here who asked this question. That'd be cool. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. This is Paul from ProPhysique.com. Have a great day.
By myself.